Hello Army, behind the grandeur of the Goyang stage on the third day, there was a secret hidden within every sharp glance and synchronized movement between Taehyung and Jungkook that made thousands of eyes unable to look away. Many believe this was just an ordinary stage performance, but if you paid closer attention to every subtle touch and nonverbal communication happening amid the clouds of red smoke, you would realize that the night was not merely a concert, but a deeply emotional and high-risk statement of feelings. What truly happened between them as the lights dimmed and the remix of Run BTS began to pound through the stadium, making the entire crowd fall into a tension never felt before. Stay here, because every second of this performance holds intimate details that will change the way you see their legendary connection forever. Watch the continuation of this video and don't miss it. Before we start, make sure you're ready to love this moments. Welcome to V Effect. The atmosphere on the Goyang stage on the third day suddenly turned tense as the lights began to dim, leaving only sharp streaks of red glowing across the stage. In the middle of drifting smoke, Taehyung and Jungkook stepped forward with such dominating aura that thousands of spectators fell silent for a moment before erupting into deafening cheers. The two appeared perfectly matched in black outfits adorned with chain accents, as if they were two rulers ready to claim the stage that night as their own. Taehyung stood upright, casting a deep gaze toward the audience, while Jungkook stood right beside him with explosive energy. There was something different about the way they stood side by side this time, not just as members of the same group, but as two souls complementing each other in every movement. Every detail of their outfits seemed designed to highlight their masculine side, while still preserving the elegance that only the two of them possessed. As the first beat of the music thundered, Jungkook immediately attacked the stage with incredible force, while Taehyung balanced it with smoother, more seductive movements. In the middle of the highly intense choreography, their eyes occasionally met, creating sparks of emotion that could be felt by anyone watching. It was as if the Goyang stage that night was merely a backdrop for a narrative of affection they expressed through dance and harmony. Jungkook, known for his explosive strength, often appeared to give space for Taehyung to shine in the center of the stage. He would shift positions with extremely smooth transitions, ensuring that the spotlight always captured Taehyung's undeniable charm. Their connection looked very organic, where a single touch or synchronized step revealed how deeply they understood each other. In one particularly iconic moment, Taehyung moved closer to Jungkook with a faint smile that could only be captured by distant cameras. Jungkook responded with a small nod full of meaning, as if giving Taehyung extra strength to continue a highly emotional solo section. Jungkook's presence there felt like an anchor for Taehyung, offering reassurance amid the roaring cheers of thousands of fans filling the stadium. As the tempo of the music accelerated, Jungkook displayed extraordinary precision in his movements, yet he always made sure never to stray too far from Taehyung. There seemed to be an invisible magnet constantly pulling them back into a perfectly aligned formation. The audience could see how they shared energy, where fatigue seemed to disappear whenever they exchanged glances under the heat of the stage lights. Taehyung then took over the spotlight with his dramatic and mysterious facial expressions. It felt as though he was telling a story of longing through his gaze, and every time he turned his head, Jungkook was always there to respond with expressive body movements. Their synchronization that night was no longer about counting beats, but about heartbeats that had long been in harmony. Sweat glistening on their faces beneath the red lights made the moment feel even more intimate and real for the fans. Jungkook, who occasionally brushed aside his damp hair, seemed to keep watching Taehyung from the corner of his eye, ensuring that his partner remained in top condition. These small, unspoken gestures became the seasoning that made their performance feel deeply emotional and filled with affection. Entering a more aggressive remix section, the two appeared increasingly inseparable within complex and rapid formations. Jungkook led with his stable vocals while continuing impressive acrobatic movements around Taehyung. Taehyung responded to Jungkook's powerful energy with intense gazes that seemed to affirm they were two sides of the same coin. There was a split second when their hands nearly touched during a fast transition at center stage, triggering massive hysteria from the audience. Although it was part of the choreography, the way they performed it felt deeply personal and emotional, as if the outside world had ceased to exist for them. On the Goyang stage that night, there was only Taehyung, Jungkook, and the melody that united their emotions. Taehyung, who often appeared like a cold prince, seemed to soften whenever Jungkook entered his line of sight. It was as if he found a place to lean on amid the intense demands of the exhausting performance. Jungkook, with his protective nature, was always there, becoming Taehyung's main source of encouragement to deliver his best performance until the very end. Every time they performed a center switch, there was nonverbal communication happening between them that was difficult to put into words. It was as if they spoke through shoulder movements and footsteps, ensuring that not a single millisecond passed without connection. The affection they displayed on stage was not something forced, but rather the result of years of closeness. As the song approached its ending, the intensity between them did not decrease. Instead, it surged to an extraordinary boiling point. Jungkook performed a bold improvised movement, and Taehyung followed with sharp instinct without the slightest hesitation. Together, they fully commanded every corner of the circular stage, turning it into a personal space to celebrate each other's presence. Fireworks exploding in the Goyang night sky added dramatic flair, as Taehyung and Jungkook stood side by side in the closing segment. Under the flood of lights and smoke, they looked like two heroes who had just finished a great battle for their love. Their heavy breathing echoed through the microphones, adding realism to the passion and struggle they had just displayed. During the final ad-lib delivered by Taehyung in his signature deep voice, he slightly tilted his head toward Jungkook, who stood directly behind him. Jungkook smiled widely, a sincere smile rarely seen during such serious performances like that night. That smile felt like a sweet closing to the story they had written on stage during those precious minutes. After the music completely stopped, they did not immediately leave their positions but remained still for a moment, catching their breath at very close distance. The final glance they shared before the stage lights went completely dark held 1,000 meanings known only to them. Fans understood that what they had just witnessed was not merely an ordinary concert, but a powerful statement of emotion. Cheers of their names continued to echo even after they walked off the stage to rest backstage. That night in Guoyang, Taehyung and Jungkook proved that affection and art could merge into a force both dangerous and beautiful. Their story on stage that day would be remembered as one of the most romantic and unforgettable moments in their long journey together. Many fans were moved to tears when they saw Jungkook's sincere smile at the end of the song, an expression considered the deepest form of appreciation for Taehyung. For ARMY, that moment served as a reminder of how meaningful their presence was to each other throughout their extraordinary careers. Comments filled with love flooded various platforms, stating that the greatest strength of that night's stage was not its grand production, but the sincerity of emotion shared by the two with the world. Even after the concert ended, the atmosphere outside the stadium remained filled with ARMY exchanging stories about the beautiful harmony between Taehyung and Jungkook. They felt fortunate to witness a narrative of affection, written so beautifully through music and movement. The third-day performance in Goyang was immediately crowned by fans as one of the most legendary stages, one that would continue to be talked about and replayed for years to come. Leave your positive comments here. The best comment will be pinned as a way to honor their love. Thank you to everyone who continues to support this channel. May God reward all of your kindness. This video reflects my personal opinion and interpretation. It is made for entertainment purposes only and does not represent confirmed facts.